Scared of change in the AI era? You are true, because as you can see on a lot of social network, on media, on other any kind of communication, a lot of things about AI are dangerous for game industry, for artists, for your job, and a lot of people think they are going to lose their job. I'm Christopher Mans, I'm the CEO of Ego Creative, and I will teach you my story with AI. I started programming at the age of 5, and I made my first game at the age of 7. As a programmer with a long career, I was thinking I was untouchable with that. With that knowledge, I was pretty sure I can have a job all of my life and have a great career. But last year, I received a big slash from AI. AI totally destroyed me and the mind of my careers. I realized AI is a so big tools that I can never match with him. I never control these tools like other programming tools I have controlled in the past. So I start to study, I start to make this conference, I start to work on some project, and every time I make a project with AI, I realize I was always too late because AI goes so fast, so fast. I'm always running after AIs. And I realize AI is a very, very great stuff with lot of stuff that we cannot imagine. And I discover a very big universe with different kind of actor in AI's universe. I'm pretty sure you recognize the icons. I hope so, if you're in an AI conference. But I also realize AI is not a funny universe. Some companies don't love the other company, and there is a lot of drama in the AI universe. And we are on a world where some countries want to keep technology only for them, and some other countries want to store technology from other countries. And in Europe, we spend more time to find a solution how to put a cap on the bottle than develop our AI technology. So, and that after that, you see there was a lot of prophets who want to teach you AI, and they are not prophets. AI is something new. No one knows everything about AI, actually. It's just a new technology for everyone. So you are alone in the desert with no idea about AI, what is true, what is false. It's very difficult to go into this new era. So you are true to be scared of change in this new AI era. Are you already a dinosaur? So we are going to make some tests about that. First, you all know Darwin. Darwin said evolution is very important. Evolution or die. AI is evolution. Every technology is a revolution. But when you look revolution in the past, you see AI go very, very fast to be adopted by the population. And if you compare to smartphone, internet, or electricity, AI take only 2 months to go everywhere in the world. That's very, very powerful for any technology. And this is the first time on the history of the humanity we go so fast about that. And AI is a big iceberg with a lot of stuff. Many of you know the principal part, ChatGPT. But there is more stuff to learn about AI. First, we are going to make a small game. I will ask you to raise your hand, and I will talk about some different concepts on AI. If you don't use one of these concepts, just drop your hand, and we will see at the end of this iceberg if you get your hand up or down. One hand. You can click on the hand on the chat and remove it when you are okay. So first concept is chat. I think if you are in this conference, everybody knows what is ChatGPT, what is Claude, and how to use it. You just chat in the web pages and you get some reply and you use a reply. That's the basic concept everybody knows. After, there is some projects. The fact that you regroup your chat in different projects to be sure your chat can communicate between each other and have a better context. CD and desktop. Are you using some desktop application to allow AI to control your computers? Are you using some CLI to control your code? It's one big step to go from internet to directly your computers. Memory. Did you make a memory, a MD file, to be sure your AI know you better, know your behaviors, know how to use AI, and know how to make your works? Memory is very important for basic AI stuff. Agent skills. Did you program any agents to automate some stuff in your pipeline? Already have some agents or some skills? This is different than for different AI, but it's always the same stuff. It's a small program in AI that can do work for you. Did you use MCP to connect your AI to any other program, like for connecting for Unity, for Excel, for Word, for any other stuff, to allow your AI agent to make work instead of you? Did you use a RAG? RAG is a kind of memory special for AI. Did you use multi-agent, multitasking in parallel? Multiple agents who are working together, give result to another, and make work for you? Did you use few agentic loops? That means agent that's working for you in a loops. First agent give result to another agent, to another agent. I like that. In a loop, you get the response at the end, reply at the end. And finally, did you train your own model on your computer to have some to solve some problem that classical AI doesn't solve? So you see, AI is a big iceberg. And now, are you already a dinosaur? I don't see any hand up on the chat, so I think all of you just drop the hand. So, will you survive in this new era? This is the first time in humanity when we have tools that can reproduce himself and then can improve himself. AI is a wonderful tool. But people don't realize AI will be everywhere, in all sectors, in all industry, not only in video games. You have in medicine, you have in agriculture, you have in nuclear, you have everywhere, you have AI. And this is not tomorrow. AI is already in our industry. You don't realize, but you use AI every day, even if you don't want to use it. AI is on industry since more than 2 or 3 years everywhere. But humans stay in the center of the process. And this is very important because when humans work with AI, they can make a very good works. For the first time, we have a tools that can help us and we can help the tools. This is more a symbiosis than just a tool we use like classical old tools in programmation. And if some people think there is some company we only use robot and AI, they are false because AI is good only when human can drive AI and human can be better if they have help of AI. You can do what you want, you can say no, but you have no choice. Everybody, every industry go to the AI era now. You have to follow, like we see at the beginning, you will be a dinosaur and you are going to disappear. So, in this situation, how will you take back the control with AI? First, step back. AI is not so big. It's just a question of comprehension and just a question of study. Take time. Just read some article, go on internet, and the more easy is just ask some people who know more about AI. Or if you don't have some people in your network, AI can help you to learn AI very easy and very quickly. AI is always here to reply to your question. Remember, if you know how to explain the problem in AI, you have a lot of chance that AI can resolve it. It's very simple. Of course, there is a lot of dangers, there is a lot of problem. I don't have time to explain them here, but with some experience, you will have them very quickly. The most dangerous situation for you now is just to be afraid to cross the door. If you stay in the shadow and don't use this technology, a lot of people will use it in your place, and you will lose a lot of time. In my company, that totally changed the mentality. We use AI that allows us to make a better collaboration between different departments, that allows us to have better productivity. And all together, we have more times to think to other stuff. Because AI is working for us, and now we have time to be more creative, working on more other tools, on new projects. And in the company, we build tools layer after layer after layer. And due to that, we now have a very, very good pipeline of production. So I will do shorter because we don't have time to talk about project, but we have done a lot of projects in the video game industry, and I will try to explain you not what we have done in the video game industry, but how AI help us outside the creating a video game. Because when you lose too many times to make all other stuff, you don't have time to create your games. So AI help us a lot to that, and free time for making games. First, we have some AI agents that we send on the internet to discover any new public tenders. They give some reports, they post it on our Discord, private Discord, and every day we can have some new tenders, some new offer, and we can find some new contract very quickly. We just have to reply, and AI help us to make the files, to prepare everything, so very quickly. Optimization, when you are making a game, especially a VR or XR games, optimization is very big works. We have made some tools with the help of AI, and due to these tools, we can get a lot of free time because the tools will analyze all of our pipeline, all of our assets, and give us some clear reporting of what we have to make modification very quickly. Wild West Panic State. We have new games. Games on the MetaQuest Horizon will be released in 2 weeks. And in this game, we need some statistics to know what people are making in the beta. The AI help us to have some stats about the behavior of the player. With that, we are able to make some adjustments to the game. And AI go faster than some people who are just taking some note about how people are playing the game. With here, we have full reporting every day. Social network for promotion, it's same. Very quickly, we have some new custom tools that allow us to make promotion of our games, of our different products, only driven by AI. And finally, bug tracking. If you do video game, you know bug tracking is very important because always there is some bug in game. Every new games have some bug. Bug tracking with AI is very easy to track because we have a pipeline. When there is a bug, that create a card in our codec, a software that allow us to follow. They receive the bug, they make some requests into the source code, they try to find the solution, and they give us a reporting, and we go faster and faster to correct any bug. And finally, for other stuff, we also have a robotic part in my company, and AI allow us to make some very funny stuff. This kind of movement with robots. If I don't use AI, I take a lot of time to make the backflip. I make this backflip with AI assistant only in 2 hours. Of course, you see the picture. I made this presentation with Prezi and AI. But what is important is AI is connected to Meshai, Banana Pro, Prezi. All my software are now connected by MCP. For this presentation, I just explained to Claude what I want. Claude asked Meshi to generate an image. The image was generated by Meshi, who asked Nano Banana to generate an image. And everything go back to my Claude, who puts the images in the Prezi. So it's a full cycle. I just say what I want, and I receive the result, and I say yes or no. No more programmation, no more click. It's just discussion in natural languages. And finally, AI can also be helpful for funny stuff in every day. At the office, we have a dog, Pablo, and this dog is always getting out, and we are afraid to lose them. So we put a trigger on the dog, and we connect the AI to the dog. If the dog go out, the robot cleaner go in the middle of the office and just bring an alarm to everybody to be sure to say the dog is out. Like that, we can follow the dog and be sure the dog don't go out. So 10 months ago, last year, I was programming more than 10 hours a day. Now, only 1 hour. Because now I'm just managing some agentic loop and some agent who do the work for me. I'm just check what they do and then give some instruction. And I do more and more job. Every day, I have more agents, and my army come to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And we do work faster and faster, day after day. For the future, what we will see, of course, AI will be connected to the glasses, and that will give me more control and more feedback. AI will be connected to all the devices. We have connected all the system of our office to AI, but in your home, at home, you will have everything connected to AI. And due to that, AI will work for you and we get some more times. And the next revolution will be all wearable system that you can see from Neuralink that will allow you to directly connect with AI with some chips on the brain. So, next. How do you want to be in this new era? For me, I have taken the choice to go to the AI era. Now, when I work, I'm not alone. I think I have a lot of copy of me who do the work for me. That's very impressive to see an AI when you program it correctly and when you teach the AI to work correctly, how they can make exactly the same as you with your same behavior. Like that, I feel that I am more than one man for programming. And due to that, I can make some bigger projects than in the past. And that gives me more time to be free, more time to study. And due to that, I'm more relaxed. So I have a great vision of the future. And if I have to say at the beginning of the presentation, if AI replace me, yes, AI replace me, but AI replace me by a better version of myself. So now that's your choice. Who do you want to be in this new era? Thank you. If you have any question or if you need any help about AI, don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I will talk about the AI and the gaming development, but with my vision of the current AI, the current application I made with them. And I mean, yes, the AI evolves quickly, so it's hard to say how it will become, but for now, this is what I come with. So for myself, I'm a .NET C# developer in a company full time. The company made production and in the wood production, so it's not gaming. The game I made with Godot, it's on my free time. So I don't have the same approach that the previous presentation. And what I want to talk about is, for example, a few days ago, there was a fab that was released, and you may see some posts like somebody create Minecraft in single prompt. And so the guy just asked the fab AI to make the Minecraft game, and in 20 minutes, with about 1.5 million tokens used, he recreates the more a cheap version of Minecraft. And when you see that result with that fast and with just a prompt, which means that anybody else can recreate with that AI the game Minecraft, may lead you to the question that is game development over? Because if anybody can recreate Minecraft in just one prompt, what will I bring to the game? And my answer to that is that AI, but I will show with example later, will be great as a tool to use to develop games, but it will more be for the plumbing, for all the repetitive setup, for the documentation and stuff like that, while you still need to handle the vision and all the creative work. So we saw Minecraft, AI can recreate a full game like Minecraft, but you have to know first that AI can fail. And a good playground to see the limits of the AI is to create a game, for example, of a flipper. I love flippers, and it's a great tool to test the AI and its limits because first, it's a very beautiful and complex scheme of a lot of paths that go over the other and all the path the ball can take on the element that interact with the ball. And also it has to be very precise, not only because it has to be precise with the elements to be all placed correctly on the field, but also we have to be precise on the physical interactions. And my first idea was like, okay, I have an AI. I will start with a blank project and I will ask it to create a flipper. So I downloaded on the Blender an extension so Claude could create a flipper from zero. and I just ask, okay, you free, create me a flipper. And I was thinking, okay, I don't give initial conditions, so the AI is free to adapt, so it can make an easy flipper for it if it's hard for it to create a flipper. And I was thinking, okay, it probably has already pre-made easy flipper, so it will just put an existing flipper on my project and it will be functional. And it comes with that, so it's a bit dark, so I'm sorry about that. But what you can see is straight ramp that don't have sense. They just start somewhere and finish in an empty place. There is on the bottom straight yellow lines. You don't know why. There is a red circle at the top, which are probably bumpers, but they are into the ramp. And so it's a full mess. And in the big scenario where you just ask the AI to do something, we fastly achieve to reach state where the AI is completely lost. So I was okay, maybe it was too much work and maybe I have to split a bit the work so the AI will be less lost and will be able to create elements. And so here it's an example in a 2D game this time. So I did a flipper in 3D and 2D. Here it's in 2D. And I was like, okay, I already made some elements and I wanted to create a ramp. And I was a bit lazy and I said, okay, I already create some elements. Can you now create a ramp? The little trick with the 2D is that when the ball reach the ramp, we have to change the collision. So the ball will follow the collision of the ramp and not hit the collision of the underground board. And this is what the AI come with. And it was completely unfunctional. First, it's a very ugly ramp. It has no curves, nothing else. It's just two walls, basically. And even the behavior of the collision, that the ball has to change the collision, and then when it leaves the ramp, get back to the first state of the collision to be on the main play field, was not functional, and so it was definitively not it yet. Another part of the flipper that is interesting is about the precision of the physics. So what I did first was to start with an idea, and I started to develop my own physics. I did that because in Godot, the basic physics is not good enough to recreate the correct interaction for a flipper. Sometimes you have the balls going over the bar, and so it's not smooth. And so I had to rework it to make a smooth game for the flipper. And so I started with an approach, and I was a bit lost on how to complete it. It was nearly good, but it was not good. So I said, okay, AI, Claude, in occurrence, and I asked him to understand what I did and try to complete it to achieve my goal, which was to recreate the physics collision for a flipper. And it did pretty much good, but I still had some little weird issue, like if the ball moved too fast, it goes through my bar, and little problems like that. And so what I did is, okay, Claude, I had this issue. Can you solve this? And he was like, okay, I will check the code. I will try to get why this bug occurs. And then it suggests something. But the problem I had is that most of the time it came back with a solution. But when I tried, most of the time the solution was not fixed, or it was fixed, but it started a new bug. And so I come with the idea that first talk about the problem with Claude, come with solution ideas, stuff like that. I also ask, and with my help, to cut all the tasks in little problems, so it will be easier to solve. I mean, for example, yes, we manage the collision of the ball, then the collision of the bar, etc., etc. So we split it in very small tasks, easier to test, verify, and justify. And I also ask Claude to justify the solution it brings to each little step to solve the problem. So if it's mathematics, I ask mathematic demonstration. If it's an algorithm, I asked why this algorithm. And so we come with a full documentation and a full plan on how to solve the problem. And once we had all that planned, I asked him, okay, now you pretty much have everything you need to make it work. Just try from zero to develop it and make it work. And this is the result I had. So it's a GIF, so it's a bit laggy, but it was smooth. And I had nothing to say except it works very well. And because of this approach, I managed to only with Claude. So I did no code for the physics interaction, managed to create a flipper that would have taken me hours and hours more than what I had with Claude to achieve that result. So we see a bit about how to manage better the AI to reach goals, but how much do we need to use the AI to manage and to reach features we want to add to the games? I would first come back on the fact that somebody recreate Minecraft just with one prompt, with the idea that it's not that impressive. It's not that impressive in the way that Minecraft is probably one of the most cloned game. If you go on the internet, you probably find a lot of tutorial on how to create games. And because Minecraft is very popular, you will find a lot of them as how to create a Minecraft light game in tutorial, how to create blocks and stuff like that. And it's also a very modded game. So at the end, there is a ton and thousands and thousands projects of Minecraft existing on the GitHub and other sites, which make the AI able to learn a lot of this same scenario. And so at the end, when Fab is able to recreate a Minecraft game, at the end, it just was able to copy a project he saw thousands of times. So when you take this approach, it's very less impressive. And the second problem, I would say, with this big approach is that when you ask something, you will get that thing and that thing only. So if you ask for a Minecraft-like game, you will get a Minecraft-like game. You won't be able to sell it because it's just a copy of Minecraft. You did not learn anything because the AI did everything, and so you just saw the game at the end, but you did not learn anything from it. And because you get what you asked, most of the thing you will bring to the game are very controlled. And I would argue that creativity comes from friction. Because when you create your own game, when you still had your hand on your game, you will probably have some issue on some behavior, on some little features you created, and because you made them, you know the risky spots. When you ask, for example, you made a Minecraft-like game with the AI, and for example, you ask it to add creatures to the game, and so, for example, the AI will create animals and a pig, for example. So you ask the AI to add a pig to your game, and so you will see a box with the sprite of a pig moving in the land, and you say, okay, it works. But if, for example, the pig do not move, you will be frustrated because you ask the AI to do something and you see a bug that is not from you. So what you will probably ask is the AI to fix the bug it creates. While if you made the bug on your own, you will probably be amused because, oh yes, I didn't think about that. And you may have more play, you will more be likely to play with your bug instead than just fixing it and be frustrated about it. And because of that, I think making your own game by hand will lead you to some situation where struggle and bugs will give you the features that make your game a game. So yeah, here's a bit of what I said. There is you're more receptive with your bugs than with the bug of an AI. And the good example I can give you is the Space Invader bugs. The bug that make that at first the invaders move slowly because there are a lot of them, and the more you kill them and the less they are, the faster they will go. And at the end, it's very stressful and it gives the peps of the game that make it memorable. And at first, it was not intended. It's just because the CPU at that time was very slow, and because there was a lot of creature on the screen, it struggled to compute each frame, and so it was slow. And the less they are, the faster it go, and that make the speed change. And because it was funny, they keep it as a feature. While if you ask an AI, the AI may anticipate, okay, the CPU will be slower, so we will manage it to keep always the same speed by making it slower when there are less invaders. So at the end, it's always the same speed, for example. Another example is Street Fighter 2 and the Creeper. Street Fighter 2 is just that when you make a hit on the opponent won't be able to move during few frames, and during that frames, the player that attack will be able to put other attacks, and that creates the notion of combo. While the enemy cannot move, you still can do damage by making other moves. And that's at first was a bug too, but because it brings some features that you can, with skills, keep the advantage on the opponent, it was kept. And now it's barely the base of all the fighter games. And another example is the creeper in Minecraft, which at start was a pig that was bugged, and they decided to keep it and make a full thing, which is the creeper. And all this thing just because it was made by human with mistakes, with things, with interaction, and because it was funny, they kept it. While if you made that with AI, you probably just will get what you ask and won't be able to search a bit more of what you thought to bring extra to the game. So all these critics, not to tell that the AI is not useful, it's very useful, it's very powerful, it's very impressive tool, and I would argue that you have to use the AI if you want to be efficient. But as you can see with the previous slide, the usage has to be controlled. You have a good way to use the AI that will be effective, and you have ways that won't bring anything useful for you. So first, I would say that you may saw on LinkedIn some people that say, okay, I just spent one day spending millions of tokens, and that's cool. I don't see the point, because that's just showing numbers for nothing. I would say it's not bringing anything. So for example, for the Minecraft game, if you were a company that making game, making the Minecraft won't bring anything for the company, because you will just burn tokens. Here we see 1.5 million tokens. Probably adding stuff to adding features to that game will consume even more token, because AI always use less token for starting a new project than just reading a project and understanding it and adding stuff to that. So you will explode your budget too, because each token is not free. You can sell the game that way, because you will need to add stuff. And another problem is that because AI made the Minecraft game, for example, if you ask new features, the problem is that the AI did not anticipate that it will need that feature. So it will ask a lot of energy to the AI to add the elements you want to add to the game, because nothing was anticipated. It's just, you wanted Minecraft, you got Minecraft, and that's it. So here I will talk about my usage. So I think it's a good compromise between token consumption, price, and AI integration to project as a single developer for enjoyer game development. So for myself, I use the Cloud Code subscription at $20 a month, which is not that much. So I think it's control depends. And so yeah, what I do mainly is two things. First is use the AI to keep my library. So I have a big library, which is a project on GitHub, and all the games and prototypes I do, the AI will automatically get the elements, make it general, and put it on the Shark library. which is my library contains all the nodes. And so when I create a new features for a game or I create a new game, I first ask my Claude, okay, I will need that stuff. Do I have already something interesting in my library that you can bring to my project so I don't have to recreate it? And that way I have a full documentation of everything I already created. I can reuse it with a simple ask to Claude, which is able to read the context of my library and just reuse the stuff. And the other work I do with the AI is I take back the example with the physics of the flipper, is brainstorming with Claude, cutting it in problem, and then documenting the thing, and it will generate it. But because I only have the $20 abonnement, Claude won't be able to do a lot of stuff. So what I do also is when I have a game to create, I split the game into different elements, and I will say, okay, this stuff can be done by AI. This stuff is better me to do. And so I can this way split things so the AI will do, things I will do. And because I'm limited in token every day, I will just ask Claude to do one thing one day. Then I will take it, use it with my tool I did, and always keep the hand on the project and always have the boost of the AI without losing the hand of the project. So I would say that Godot is less known than Unity or Unreal, but with a good usage of the way of thinking and the way of solving a problem, even if the data is few trained on elements, and it's often the case for gaming, because the game is a very artistic concept. So the AI, when you start going off track, is completely lost, but still can reach a good production and a good solution maker if you take a good usage of it. Globally. Thank you for your listening, and I'm open if you have any question.
Thank you. That was super interesting. Thank you so much. Do we have any question from the audience for the first session that we managed to have on the actual platform? So thank you so much for the patience in the different managing. All right. Oh, but you got off. Oh, mamma mia. I think it just got off the presentation, but I'm sure we're gonna have some time when it comes back for the discussion. Let me see if I'm gonna get Justin back. Okay, no worries, no worries. It's okay. But I did love the idea that possibly one of the best things that you can find in games is actually true human errors and not AI hallucinations. So I find it very, very beautiful. Voila.
Sorry.
Back. He's back. Yeah, so that was a very strong idea. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And this gives you a very good start for the last session, which is going to be a very nice informal chat with Eduardo and all of you about the gaming industry and also his experience in a studio, because we talked about a studio on a very high level and the idea of AI and how to use it. Then we saw a practical use with even the Minecraft in 1 hour in one day. And now I'm curious to hear about Eduardo. Tell us a little bit about yourself first. I think for me it's a full circle moment because I did work with Eduardo a little bit. So I'm very happy to have him here. Unfortunately for the technical issues, but good for us to have you here. So yeah, let us know who you are, what you're doing, what are you working on right now.
Hi everyone. Hi Federica. Love to see you again. I'm Eduardo. I've been in the industry for 7 years now, mainly as a producer. So I'm usually in charge of the project management and leading the team towards a result in time and budget, and overseeing all the operations of the studio, so pipelines and so on, essentially. I'm probably gonna be the villain here because I'm not really fond into AIs into the gaming industry. But I have to say I really, really much agree with both Justin and Christoph on their talks, because they touch some nevralgic points, in my opinion. So I think it will be interesting, because maybe I would give some perspective from inside the industry, and maybe even as a gamer first, I would say, because
Yeah.
it's quite a controversial topic, to be fair, in the gaming industry right now. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to hear, and of course also Justin, feel free to jump on it. But of course, I'm curious to hear because if I think about an industry that was one of the first to talk about AI, that must be, of course, the gaming industry, because we talked about AI way before, the mainstream AI. So the first thing that comes to my mind is the fact that, of course, no one is gonna care if a game or art or something else is generated by AI, especially the gamers. So what do you think is the vibe there? What do the appreciation or not appreciation from the audience?
Generally speaking, I would say people hate AI slop, I would say. The problem is that if you also look at the data, of course, the minority is the loudest, I would say. Reality is that in most cases, you don't even notice it. It's mainly used, like, I can give you an instance, like Expedition 33 is an absolute masterpiece, of course. They used AI to do some very, very small assets in pre-production, and they just left it there because it happens. It's such a complex project that, of course, it can happen. And it was just like some very, very small flyers that were flying in the wind, something like that. You don't even notice it. And immediately they had issues with that because people found out. And that's the sentiment, I will say right now, for the majority of people. They don't want stuff made with AI. But I think it comes also from a lack of understanding on game development processes, first of all. And that's our fault. I think that game developers should do a much, much better job in communicating with the audience. And also because probably nowadays users don't feel represented anymore, I would say. And this is just adding up, layers on layers on layers of miscommunication, hate, not feeling represented enough, and not communicating. And this is just another one where they would say, all right, cool, you're ripping me off with an $80 AAA game. You're laying off thousands of people just to give me something made with AI that has no soul or anything. So I feel this is the sentiment right now for the main part.
Yeah. And you talked about the processes and how developers should do a better job at communicating about AI, like the good AI use. So in your experience, what are some areas, departments that use it best?
I would say both Justin and Christoph touched the main points here. Production, for sure. The thing is, nobody loves to, I don't know, keep track of issues on Jira or, getting data and stuff like that, because it's just time consuming for the most part. And it basically sets you back and don't give you enough time to do your job, actually, right? And so from a producer perspective, let's say if I have like a very senior, let's say a principal artist, which they're paid a lot, and that's because they earned it. And I want them to, be an artist and do artistry, not, compiling tasks and stuff like that for the majority of time, or having useless meetings and stuff like that. So I would say mainly in the organizational field, automations and stuff like that. I would also see it very well used in some of the most waterfall pipelines that still are in the game development community. Like again, artists. Let's say we have a 3D artist, very very talented sculptor. He sculpted the asset, but then you have to do retopology and UVs and stuff like that, and that's time consuming. And that's just because you have to put in a real engine or whatever. And I can see like a very senior 3D artist coming to me and telling me, man, can we just use an AI to do the retopology, because it's just time consuming and it's nothing, it's everybody, between commas, like everybody can do that. It's just time consuming for the most part. I think that the biggest problem here is these are experts. These are veteran in the industry, right? The problem comes when a junior or an intern comes to me and tell me, man, I don't really want to do this because I want to take time, to do other stuff. And I don't really agree with that. As you could see from Justin's perspective, yeah, he tried to do a game just with AI, right? But at the same time, he used such an analytical path, right, to have a final result that you wouldn't have if you didn't do experience and if you didn't grind through years of pain, right? That's I think the biggest issue right now, because the problem is not using AI. The problem is not adopting AI, because we basically learn the craftsmanship before AI, so we can use it as a tool. The problem is the new generations of game developers that will not go through all these empiric experiences, right? And these learnings and these restless nights that one day will ask just for a prompt and they will not understand anything of what is happening. They cannot troubleshoot like Justin rightfully did, because they don't understand what's happening. That's the problem. And the real concern right now, in my opinion, in this industry is that we risk of raising a new generation of developers that are fundamentally ignorant, not in a meaningful way. Like, I don't want to be mean, but they don't understand what is happening. They don't understand some processes because they're so used to taking shortcuts. And I love lazy people. It's usually the people that knows the solution and does it the quickest because they're lazy, and it's very efficient, but they usually understand what is happening. So this, to me, right now is the very big concern with AI, and especially if used, if misunderstood and not used as it should be.
Justin, I'm just gonna call you out since you were mentioned. Do you agree that you were going through all the pains of development before using AI, and then you could earn your place to use it, or not?
Definitely, yes, definitely. I agree with what Eduardo said. And I would add something if I can.
Sure.
When he said that new developer may struggle because no, they're not learning, they're just using AI and not going deeper in when it's made. As a trainer at IFA PME, I had students that also fully rely on AI while they should learn to develop. And what I had is student, when you ask something, you clearly see you don't know anything about what he just did. And when you ask questions, so he has to go deeper in the code and try to get what I'm asking for. Some students go to that point that they just say, come back a bit later and I will give you the answer. And it was definitively just to ask the AI, okay, I need this stuff. Can you tell me where it is? So some people really just rely on the AI, and that's the really wrong part of the junior development.
And the problem is what Justin said. Like, game development is complex by nature. It's not difficult sometimes, it's complex. You have so many layers and people that have to do a lot of stuff, right? And you, Federica, took part of one very complex production. We had more than 200 people involved, if we count everybody. And it's very easy to fall in the trap of avoiding complexity. But the very cool thing about digging into complexity is that you learn new stuff osmotically, just speaking with people, right? If I don't know a topic, I will go to an engineer and I will ask him, how difficult is this stuff to implement? And he will tell me, now I know something new. You don't do that with AIs because you're removing, again, that empiric experience, right? And this is the real concern right now to me, because we need to have we kind of have like an obligation, in my opinion, to scintillate this usage of AI and use it the right way with the right people at the right time. If I had a studio, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna allow juniors to use AIs. Of course, I'm gonna allow them to use it, but I will have them to be owner of what they're doing anyways. I will not accept someone coming to me and tell me, oh no, I'm sorry, this is just an AI hallucination. No, it's your fault because you're not understanding what AI did. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. I welcome back also on the stage Christophe for these last few 10-15 minutes of discussion together. And you touched also on the artist side. And for those of the audience and the people on this conference that don't know, you're working on a very artistic production, so at least as far as I know. So where art and also art in general is very important, and there has been a lot of conversation around the use of AI for artists. Well, they feel at some point, as an artist, you cannot take inspiration from other artists, so you're not really copying. But then AI is really like copying your work, is not really, taking your just inspiration. But at the same time, artists, I don't know, there are certain processes like the background, some very specific artistic task that takes so much time and so much money, of course, because they're long and they take their time, that I feel like some people may be tempted to kind of take this compromise. What do you think about especially the use of AI for the artistic production, coming from a background in which you work with such a high quality on the artistic level product?
Are you speaking to Christoph or me?
No, with you, Edoardo.
Okay. No, sorry, because maybe Christoph did so too.
Yeah, I was not talking with you, but Christoph, of course, you can join us. I do remember Christoph, if I'm not mistaken, also was at Gamescom, but we're gonna talk about these a little bit later.
The artistic approach is very. I think that the truth is always a bit in the middle right here, because of course we had a very first wave of hate about AI coming from the artists themselves, because of course they were scraping copyrighted stuff and for data gathering and stuff like that. And so it was not moral. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, we can speak all day long about morality and stuff like that, but the fact that I am not an artist by myself, like I cannot draw. Let's say that if I go on, I don't know, whatever you can use now for making Nano Banana Pro, I don't know, and I tell it to make a Picasso, I not pretending to be Picasso, I will never be recognized as Picasso or stuff like that. So again, the problem is, to me, that a lot of people, let's say the average human being that is now so hyped about AI, thinks, because this is what they're telling them, now you can be an artist. No, you're not. Spoiler. This is not what makes an artist. the fact that now with a prompt you can do a Picasso doesn't mean you're an artist. And the average person that is now so fond into AI thinks that, oh, cool, now I can be a game developer. I just need $200 a month of subscription to Cloud Code. I can do all the games I want, I ever dreamed of. No, you can't. I'm sorry. And we're kind of destroying these barriers in society that have always been there, where it's cool. I'm never going to be an artist. I accepted it. I found my way in life. And now
maybe you will one day. You never know.
But I will never know if I will ever be. It's because I'm gonna draw 1,000 things a year for 10 years, and then maybe if someone recognizes me as such, I will be an artist. But the thing is that it's very important for these people to understand that if you have this very powerful tool in your hand, doesn't mean you can be whatever you want, because this is unlogical. This is absurd. I never heard of a talented person telling me, oh, look at this, I did it with AI, it's so cool. Brother, you're just talentless. You just did something very cool, sure, like I can have a laugh with you about that. I'm just not saying that. Just look how many AI artists are out there right now. You're just talentless people. This is what you are. And you think, I'm sorry, I'm going to be the villain right now.
That's the villain for sure.
This is very important. This is why artists feel so unrespected, right? It's not because people are using their works. Arts is based on references. Art is based on cross-referencing every other artist. The problem is that people is elevating themselves at an artist status, the same as people that it's really artists. And the same goes with game developers, right? I can do a very nice game, and I can ask ChatGPT to give me a script for a movie. I'm never gonna be Nolan, because I'm not Nolan, man. I accepted it. I grew up with other talents. I focused on those. I have my spot in the world, right?
Yeah.
So this is what people need to understand with AI. It's not going to make you talented in a night.
Yeah.
But experts,
yeah.
Yes, experts are already talented. They can use it as a tool to become even more powerful. That's super cool.
Yeah. But then it becomes very hard to become an expert with the temptation of AI. What do you think, Christoph? You said that AI was freeing your time and you're using a lot. So what do you think about this villain take?
So the problem with AI, as I say, it's give me free times. But when you are artist or entrepreneurship, when you have free times, you create new projects.
Yeah.
You never stop. You never stop. An entrepreneurship hate free time. He always finds something to do, something to improve. So that I don't have more, I have more free time to create more projects. But I totally agree with Eduardo about some problem with the new generation, because I see that with new students we receive and with some new employees we have, they have no idea of what they do in programmation. They just prompt, they do something, and when there is a bug, they don't know how to solve it. When the AI cannot solve the bug, this is terrible for them, because they have a wall in front of them and they cannot break this wall. They have to talk to senior developer who can help us. And for me, the problem will be how junior will be senior in the future, because the problem for coming from junior to senior, and I have no idea about how we are going to solve that problem in the industry in the next 5 or 10 years.
That's interesting, because indeed I would say that the ongoing theme is that AI is empowering everyone to create. So at least to create an MVP, and it's gonna speed up all the processes, despite the cost that is gonna in the future just lower and lower. And Thierry says, I think it depends on the purpose. Some people just don't care about personal recognition as long as the result is profitable, talking about the fact that you're using AI in these different ways.
I agree. Just
Yeah.
look at how many business are now getting to life of people that just vibe code and get a white paper and say, "Oh, I did an AI to solve this problem nobody cared for," and they just get the money because this is how it works. They don't do it for recognition; they do it because it's profitable, maybe. But we are discussing a different problem. Christoph, of course, is a very talented entrepreneur. He has a successful company. He has his whole experience, and he can do that because he understands what is happening. I think it's our turn now and it's our duty, in a sense, to mentor who is coming, because we understand it and we are in time now to set some ground rules on how to use these tools, how to put creativity first, how to empower people the right way, and not just by selling a $20 subscription, because that's marketing.
Yeah, I find it very beautiful, especially since you're focusing on the more human connection. I feel like mentoring is not super used in all the industries, or like in the normal everyday life. In certain industries, use mentorship as a way to go, like as an organizational process. Some others don't. So I feel like the stress on a mentorship for the new generation, especially in the era of AI, is especially on point. But then at the same time, one may argue we are at the end in the entertainment industry. So whatever works, as long as people are happy and entertained. What I'm thinking about is that, sometimes you can consume something that is very casual and still has a user success and may be made with AI. I'm thinking about even in the music realm, people that all of a sudden become musicians with AI. The same with before, Justin, you mentioned also Minecraft. I think the strength of Minecraft was in the idea. So how do we reconcile the idea that at the end we are in the entertainment industry? Why we're making this much of a fuss about that? This is a little bit of a challenging question. I'm about that.
No, I just think the day we won't have Rolling Stones releasing an album, but an AI slop version of it and getting first in all the leaderboards all on the globe, I would say we are dead. I don't think we are, honestly, because they just released a new album. It's fantastic. It's because it's Rolling Stones. And the same goes with video games, right? If you notice, still the games that get the most recognition are good games. It's simply the fact that people is so again, there is a miscommunication, right, in the whole entertainment industry between developers or artists and the final users, because the final users will say, oh, they don't do the good games anymore, like back in the good old days, right? But the thing is that you received, back in the old days, there was such a gatekeeping between the users and the developers that the developers made game for themselves and not for the users. So what is actually happening is that users don't understand that they want to buy shit and play shit. And this is why people is serving them shit. If we cut this connection between users and developers are probably going to do what they want, and we are going to go back to a golden era of creativity. But marketing exists, and executive exists, and investors exists. So what they want is just, to be profitable. And people don't understand, again, that there is a loud minority saying this, but there is a very huge majority of people buying the same shit every year. And this is why we have FIFA 90, we have Call of Duty 85, and we have Final Fantasy 25. There is no more unique franchises because people ask for the same stuff over and over again. Developers don't want to take risks anymore. Or I don't want to say developers, let's say executives and big companies don't want to take risks anymore because it's so expensive. And they don't understand that by doing this, they're risking more. And so it's not so unusual now to see a very good indie game winning trophies, winning awards, because they don't do that game thinking about, oh man, I have to sell 2 million copies, otherwise we're screwed.
Right.
They're just thinking about making maybe their dream game, or the most creative thing they could think of. There is no MVP to be sold to a publisher. There is no P&L. There is no stuff like that involved. So this is my take on why shit is selling right now. And the same happened with music. You know what happened with music? Frank Zappa said it very, very well. I don't remember in which interview, but we had a golden age of music in the entertainment industry in the 60s and 70s with these great rock bands coming out, right? And they were selling so much. And then in the music industry, the how do you say that? Etiquette. Oh my God.
Labels.
The labels, thank you. Labels recognize this, and they always used to say, oh, I don't know what you're doing, just do it. It's cool. I will not interfere as soon as you're selling. Then one day, one guy decided that, you know what? These hippies really enjoy this kind of music. What if I have one to join our label as a consultant? And then you created marketing. You created someone that got inside and said, no, they're not going to like this. Trust me. Do this one. And this is how we now have a plane of creativity, because they just want the same thing over and over again because they have a perspective of the user. And this happened to music in the 70s. And this is going to happen. This happened with video games 10, 15 years ago. Movies too, by the way.
And so you don't see, so I know that we are at time. So for me, the last question would be, what could be like a positive outlook, something that you wish that, the younger generation could adopt as a vision for game development, but possibly they will not, escape from AI. So what's your wish for the younger generation for that?
I really wish that new generation will understand the craftsmanship behind this and fell in love with the process, not the product. You have to fall in love with the process of making video games, not the video game itself. Otherwise, you will be pushed on using AI for useless stuff just to get to a goal, essentially. If you love making video games, you will not use AI for everything because you love making it. It's like having a big puzzle. I love making puzzles. Why should I have a robot doing it for me? Where is the fun of it? So this is what I wish.
Beautiful. Christoph, you also unmuted yourself, yeah?
Yeah, for me it's the same. I think new generation have to learn. Don't prompt. Don't just copy what others do. It's important to continue to use creativity and find new concepts, and don't be just copy past and be clone, because with AI many people would just be clone and prompt engineers. I hope we still have some people who have passion, creativity, and we try to understand how the system is working, because if you don't understand how the system is working, you cannot create a new system. If you just use prompt and copy what's existing, you have no creativity. You just make some diversion of what already exists. But what we need some people who think another way of what we already have. This is how you can find some great new games, because one day someone say, okay, I will make a concept that you never see, and that can make some great indie games and some great concepts. If you just copy paste, you say we have a Black Ops Duty, Assassin's Creed, some with large numbers, and that's terrible. Just be more creative and try to work with modern tools, but creativity is very important.
Yeah. And Justin, do you want to share your wish?
I wish them to learn how to use the AI. It's a tool. It's obviously then you can use it good or use it bad. And I think because it's new, it's still pretty hard to know how to use it. And in a few years, we will probably see which methods still are used and then survive the new era.
And possibly wish them to make more human bugs, so you never know which kind of feature they will create out of that. And also, we will not be able anymore to say, yeah, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Like, how can we do that? So we must make sure to keep on the legacy also on the memes in the production. All right, so we are at time. I really thank you all for your expertise, first of all, then your insight, your time, and your patience today with the technical issues. So thank you so much, but also thank you for your work, because for passion, or if your work is your passion, you're creating something that, for me, it's a work of art. It's complex, as Eduardo said, it's very complex, but at the end, the result is, always interesting, and allows other people to experience something new. So thank you so much. I hope I will see you maybe one day at a conference in a Google office, or a conference around the world, without technical delays. Thank you so much, Thierry. Alessio, grazie. Do you want to say anything, Alessio? This was
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us, and see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, merci aussi,
Thank you.
Thierry from GDG Mons and GDG Napoli. Ciao, grazie mille. See you next time. Bye bye.
Ciao, grazie. Bye.